A Wesley Christmas Wedding largely set aside all the drama that we experienced in the first movie and more so focuses on giving us laughs, love, and reminding us that the holidays can be a bit lonely for quite a few people. So to summarize the film, as noted, unlike the first film, there's not a lot of secrets or drama involved. The main focus is on Todd and Ryan's wedding, which is complicated by the fact that Ryan's mother, Diana, she has a strong takeover spirit, and being that she finds Christmas tacky, she keeps conflicting with Todd and Ryan wanting a Christmas-themed wedding. And as you can imagine, being that Sylvia loves Christmas, and Brian to a certain degree, Sylvia is very much trying to stay in her lane, but finds herself having to eventually butt heads with Diana and make it very clear, this isn't about you. But the problem is Diana's paying, so technically she should have some say. And as this goes on, Todd's ex shows up. She has to sign divorce papers, so that has to be handled. Sydney is in a relationship, which is yay. But her relationship and her career started conflict. Never mind, there's the issue of her manager seemingly not respecting her relationship and maybe having feelings that, needs to be shut down. And then just keep going down the list. You got Marcus and Gloria who are going strong, but Marcus is still having challenges with opening up. He doesn't really share in therapy much, so while he's making progress, as is Gloria in terms of being with a man like him, it's still in this space where they're comfortable, but whether or not there needs to be more progress is hard to say. As for Chris's family, his wife is definitely struggling a bit with having a new child and, him not doing enough. Then comes the twins in terms of one twin wants to focus strictly on fashion and not go to college anymore. The other one has some type of boyfriend who's trash that she's dealing with. And it's like a lot of little subplot stories with Todd and Ryan's wedding being the big one. And as we're going to the review, you appreciate this just because a lot of it, including Sylvia's ex Ted showing up, it's stuff that you really don't want to see because it's that same Christmas drama nonsense. So when they really just put the focus on these two getting married, it's a blessing. So in terms of notable highlights, it's definitely the fact that when it comes to Ted, when it comes to Todd's ex, they're not the main focus. And in fact, I would even say they're quickly handled. Like, it's almost like there's an obligatory, we know we have to address this character. We know that we need to give this character something beyond being somebody's mother-in-law mother. So here's something for them. We'll let it run out quickly and then move back to what the main point of this whole movie being made is. And I appreciate it so much because, again, the amount of drama in these holiday movies is ridiculous. If someone ain't cheating, there's somebody's secret baby coming out. It's just like, granted, I don't want some Lifetime or Hallmark movie where it's just clean fun, even though I'm pretty sure that Hallmark and Lifetime movies are probably way more dramatic than I give them credit for, but you get what I'm saying. It's a holiday movie. Give me some laughs, make me feel warm inside, and send me on my way. I don't need all this extra drama that I know very much exists and probably relatable for a lot of people, but I like escapism when it comes to holiday movies. I don't need reality. With that said, I do appreciate when it comes to Ted and Diana, even though Ted low-key got on my nerves and Diana definitely got on my nerves, how you're pushed to understand that these people aren't caricatures or just made to be dramatic, but they're lonely people. Ted is going through a divorce. He's going through regrets in terms of all that he did to Sylvia when he dogged her out in high school. And really think about it. This man is in his 50s or 60s, and he's thinking about this young woman that he was with back when he was in his teenage years. So that's a good 20, 30 years, and he's still feeling bad about what he did to her, trying to make up for it by doing this lovey-dovey stuff, even though she's straight up married. And it's sad in a way. You can tell he's lonely, but It's that desperation, that need to end the year with somebody else makes, or have it where somebody cares about you, that it's just depressing. And Diana, she's a little bit better. She's this. She's the type of single mom you sometimes see in movies, but instead of having a son, it's a daughter. And you can tell that even with her being married twice, with the last one, I think, dying, if I recall correctly, she's really latched on her daughter as the consistent thing in her life. Mind you, it's very clear that between traveling and spending either her money or the money that she got from these husbands dying or divorcing her, Diana ain't hurting financially, so she can find ways to fulfill her time. But again, it's like Ted. Yes, they have money and success, but they don't really have people who give them that type of fulfillment in the way that they need. For as much as Ryan is respectful and loving toward her mother, at the same time, you don't necessarily see her volunteering to have her mom part of things and really pushing too hard. I mean, yes, she does want her mom to integrate into Todd's family, but at the same time, what's the best way to put it? I feel like she loves her mom, she honors her mom, but at the same time, she is married into a new family and she wants to really get the experience of Sylvia, Brian, and what that brew has, that she knows what her mom can offer. She's been overwhelmed by what her mom can offer, so she just wants something different. Maybe even potentially something a bit more normal or not intense. Which leads it on the fence portion, and that's just, to be frank, outside of Todd and Ryan's storyline, including Diana, I couldn't get into most of the plots when it came to a Wesley Christmas wedding. Most of them, like Sydney singing conflicting with her relationship and then her manager's issues, I didn't get into it. It felt very lukewarm. And I would say a lot of the plots often feel like something that was kind of a placeholder or just to give the actors something to do to justify them coming back for this movie. And I would even say for a lot of them, it doesn't even feel like they're giving us something that for the inevitable third movie that can be used or brought up, since we go from the regular Christmas to a wedding, so next one has to be either a baby, a funeral, a divorce, or something. So with that in mind, I'm just hoping that something is done with these characters so that even though I appreciate there being kind of an A plot and a B plot, with A plot being Todd and Ryan and B plot being damn near everybody else, I'm hoping that with this being such a big cast, it feels more balanced, so that even if there are good storylines and kind of iffy storylines, at the very least it doesn't seem like this is bloated, rather than it's just a case of maybe that storyline may not interest you, but there's a few over here that you may like. So let's go into the ending a little bit. To break it down, Todd is able to give Ryan the wedding that he wants by paying off his ex so that she signs the divorce papers, and also he's able to break through to Diane so that she understands that this is about Ryan, it's not about her, and that Ryan wants something simple, just with the family, minus her, but not in a way that's rude, but because Diane can have the ability to come over to quickly be part of the wedding. But the point of the matter is, Todd handles things so that Ryan gets the wedding she wants, and also Taryn, his niece, one of the twins, designs Ryan's dress, which helps justify her wanting to drop out of college, even though neither one of her parents are for that. Speaking of the twins, Kennedy dismisses her boyfriend once she figures out that he's using her, which gives her peace. Her stepmother addresses Chris in terms of him not helping enough, to the point where it kind of makes it seem like she's having postpartum depression or some type of postpartum issue, and we don't really see him like step up in a way or really address the situation much. I mean, there's a conversation, but again, it's a B storyline, not much focus or interest is put into it, so you know there's issues in a relationship because of the new kid, but at the same time, it's not like, oh, focal point, I want to focus on this and this is interesting. It's not. But at the very least, it's addressed. Moving on. So with Ryan and Todd deciding to do a small wedding at Sylvia and Brian's house, Marcus uses the occasion in order to get married to Gloria, who he proposed to either Christmas Eve or Christmas night, and they take over the wedding that Diana planned. And outside of that, Sydney makes things very clear to her manager about where they stand, which her boyfriend overhears and appreciates. And it also seems that she is gonna potentially go on tour, even though her boyfriend makes it very clear that he's not that sure about a long distance relationship because of his past experiences with that. In terms of Ted, he reveals that his wife is divorcing him, and that's why he's in this weird space where he's trying to make amends. Sylvia forgives him for being a dog back in the day. Brian, once he knows why Ted is acting the way he does, he forgives him for being very competitive, like he's trying to steal his wife. And pretty much all's well that ends well.